Hello, everybody. Welcome to this new webinar where we are going to focus in alternative proteins in Spain and how the business is evolving. We are very glad to be here with all of you, and we welcome you from ICEX. It's the Spanish agency in charge of promoting the internationalization of Spanish companies. Well, let me start by the very beginning and just to see exactly what the global alternative protein market is right now in the world, and how it's estimated to grow in the next years. Right now, the global market, it's around 13 million metric tons consumed in 2020, but it's estimated to grow by 7 times over the next 15 years. So that's just a dimension of how the alternative proteins market is going to evolve. Well, Spain is also taking a big step forward in this market in several aspects, as we are going to see with our speakers in the next hours. First of all, if we just take a look in the sales in Europe, Spain is the second largest market, just after Germany, and followed very, very closely by other countries like the Netherlands, like France, like Italy, and Belgium. Those are the leading countries in the plant-based sector as regards sales. We have to take into consideration there are several lines of business right now. First of all is, of course, it's plant-based solutions, but this is just one part of the market. There are other options also that we have to take to bear in mind. First, fermentation. Second, bioprinting and cell cultivation. All those are business lines that are very strong in Spain and are also leading very innovative solutions in our country. So we have also to bear in mind that we have a very strong network of technological centers that are really helping out to develop products that meet both sensory and nutritional expectations of consumers and the industry. So this is just a broad view. We have also to take into consideration that our food industry is one of the strongest in the world. We are the 4th in the European Union and the 7th world exporter of food and drink in the world. So if you bear in mind these numbers, you can also understand why traditional companies or big companies are also taking a big role leading some of these innovations, like big meat producers are also leading some of the innovations, or some of the big milk or dairy producers are also leading some of these innovations in the food industry, looking always for sustainability and looking also for the business that is just starting in the next years. So those are the big numbers. Now we are going to meet the big players, or some of these players that are bringing up very innovative solutions to these alternative protein business models. Let me first introduce Inomi and Francisco Cuar. Inomi is a Bilbao-based company and is developing a new generation of meat alternatives, combining fungi and biotechnology, and replacing meat with healthier, sustainable, and very delicious food. And Dr. Francisco Cuar is an Argentinian biologist specialized in fungi, holding a PhD in fungal biotechnology from the University of Buenos Aires. And he worked in academic research and published many articles in this field. Now he is CSO of Inomi Biotech and works in development of new products. Inomi participated in the first Desafia, that's ethics program for immersion in the Dutch food ecosystem, and Inomi has also participated in Spain Food Tech. That's a program launched by Eatable Adventures. And well, let us hear Francisco.
Well, thank you so much, Maria, for this opportunity. My name is Francisco Cújar, and I am the CSO of Inomi Biotech, and we are creating a new platform of alternative protein based on mycelium. Mycelium, you know, is the tissue of mushrooms, and this is a great model to create something that help us to face many challenges that humanity has at this moment. For example, the impact of the industry in the environment, because this process is really sustainable. Also, this kind of products, our products, which are substitutes for meat, they are amazing because they have unique properties. Mycelium mushrooms, they can turn plant protein into fungal protein, which is more similar to animal protein, and this is why it is very nutritious. And we created a production model that we can take to any food factory in Europe, and this is really interesting because this makes it also sustainable. We can produce it anywhere, and we can this way make a real impact on the on the protein production industry. So we are launching our first products at the end of the year, the hamburgers, and we are working in the next line, the sausages, the nuggets, and for next year we are thinking in the whole cuts of meat. We are developing those products and they will be amazing. This is Inomi, and we are really happy to be here because we came to Spain from Argentina 2 years ago, and it was really exciting because it was like being home here, because the environment is really interesting. We came here in the framework of the Spain Food Tech program, working with Eatable Adventures, and it was a really good idea because we got to meet a lot of interesting partners and players in the food tech environment, but also in the course of these years of the last year, we got to know the environment here, and Spain has such a rich history of food, and it is famous for the food. So I think Spain is like a lighthouse to show alternative protein to the world, because people always think if it is Spanish food, it is good. So there is also a lot of knowledge, a lot of industry, and a lot of science here, and I think this is what makes it such a big opportunity. Also, the startup environment is really important. We are now in northern Spain, and we are cooperating with many institutions here. We are close to our partners. We work in a B2B model, so we need industrial partners, we need commercial partners, and they are everywhere here, and they are approaching us because the food industry is in the middle of a revolution right now. So, you know, vegan alternatives, not only because they are healthy, but also because people is trying to take care of the environment. And this consciousness of the population is what is making the industry try to progress and to change. And this is why I think Spain, together with all the knowledge they have about food and this environment, are one of the biggest options if you want to start your project on food technologies. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Francisco. Now we are going to hear our second speaker. That's Silvia Moreno from Mimic Foods. Mimic Foods, it's a Madrid-based startup that makes plant-based alternative seafood experiences. The first product, Tunato, is the first plant-based alternative to raw tuna. Silvia Moreno has a graduate degree in biology and a doctorate in food sciences. Her specialty is the development of new protein-based foods and the modification of their technical and functional properties in order to obtain innovative products with optimal sensory characteristics. She joined Mimic Seafood in February 2021 as CTO and co-founder and leads research department. Well, Mimic is participating in our second Desafia cohort in the Netherlands, and well, they also had a great job. They did a great job in Food for Future. Well, Silvia, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Maria, for the introduction, and thank you very much for the ethics for the invitation. We are very happy, Mimic Seafood. We are very happy being here, being part of this webinar. We are actually involved in another program with ethics. We are part of the Desafia, the Netherlands acceleration program that is taking part like this June, and we are really happy being part of or very much accepted as a startup for this kind of programs and this experience, which are really enriching to us. Well, we are Mimic Seafood. We are a Spanish startup that is based in Tres Cantos in Madrid. Our aim is basically to offer better food choices to those people that want to save oceans. We offer different products that are like an alternative to eating seafood, such as Tunato, which is our very first product, red tuna analog produced from tomatoes that we actually grow here in Spain, in Granada. All our products are very much accepted for the public that has tried them so far, and we are really happy about that, about the acceptation we are receiving so far. But of course, we don't want to stay there. We are always researching and looking for other alternatives that we can produce, we can offer to the consumers right now. And one of the things that we are now focusing is in enriching our products or developing new products that are rich in proteins, which our main products are not. And we really think that we are receiving a lot of help in this area right now from both Spain and Europe. We think that there are a lot of both private and public source of funding that are thinking or aiming to startups like ours, like that are focused on alternative proteins. Actually, we are part of an operative group called Protein Leg, which is like a consortium of different companies and public institutions from Galicia and the north of Spain. And the main focus of this project is to start to give an extra value to those legumes and seeds that are local here in Spain, that have been grown for centuries, and in order to use them to produce alternative protein products, and in order to avoid, of course, the use of soy that is not very sustainable here because of the places that is grown, the exportation that or import that is very energy consuming, right? So we really think this project is funded from both Spanish and European funds, and we are really happy about all the help that we are receiving so far. But really think that there are a lot of other funding opportunities from both Spain and Europe that are aiming to the alternative protein production, and where if not Spain to be doing this, right? Because we are actually in a very in a place with very good weather, with a very big field in order to culture these alternative proteins. And I really think that being in Spain doing this is a really good advantage.
Thank you very much, Silvia. Great hearing your experience. And well, let's now go to the next speaker, and we are going to listen to Javier Zaratiegui from caucus. Cocus is a Navarra-based technology company whose mission is to revolutionize food through disruptive and differentiating solutions. They develop industrial solutions for the production of mimetic food analogs, what we call mimetic food, of plant-based or cell-based animal proteins using 2D and 3D laser printing, bioprinting, and robotics. Wow. Well, Javier Zaratiegui Fernandez is partner and CTO of Cocosystem Iberica, where he leads and coordinates the development and correct implementation of scientific and technological systems in the company. Cocos also participated in Spain Food Tech program from Eatable Adventures, and he, as I mentioned before, he was participating in the first Desafia program in the Netherlands as well. So it's going to be great to listen to Javier, and well, congratulations for all the work you've been doing and all the attention from big investors you're also having at the moment. Javier, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Maria, for the introduction, and thank you, ISEX, for having us with you today, with you all, talking about food tech startups. My name is Javier Zaratiegui, and I am co-founder of Cocosystem Iberica. We are a startup company. We started in 2017, and we just closed our Series A round with Big Idea Ventures, a leading investor from the United States, and Cargill, also from the United States, but also Eatable Adventures and Tech Transfer Agri-Food from Spain. This investment has helped us to move from prototype scale to lab scale, and then scaling up for industrial size. But when we started 5 years ago, we were not doing this. What we were doing, we were offering our technologies to cut, print, and mold food, but oriented to chefs, to caterings, to food services. So people could manufacture or produce a dish with a special cut, with a special shape or color, and impress their clients. So it was more looking for a wow effect and taking a picture to Instagram than what we are doing now, that are solving a major industry, major agri-food industry problem. So perhaps you have seen us with a machine that prints over the foam of a beer. That was us. And why I talk in the past, because that is no longer the focus of our company. To this journey, one day we met Eatable Adventures, a reference consultant for food tech in Spain, and they saw and told us how good we were with machines, but that we were not aiming for the right target. there is a world's need for better and more sustainable ways of manufacturing food. There is going to be a lack of protein. We were not really aware of those. And José Luis Caballero and his team opened our eyes about this future and the needs, these needs of manufacturing new food with alternative proteins mainly. So he challenged us he challenged Pachi Larumbe especially to make a whole cut piece of meat. And after a few weeks, the result is history. We came up with a prototype that could produce a whole cut, quite big whole cut out of around 8 kilos in 1 minute, out of plant-based ingredients, and the social media went crazy. So not only he helped us to find the focus, but also introduced us major investors. So we started pitching in front of the world in the morning with San Francisco, and the other way around. In the morning with Australia, and in the night with San Francisco. So it was quite a turnover. We were doing these machines that printed for bars of printing over the foam of beer, and through the pandemic we couldn't develop those solutions. And so for us it was really good to change the focus and see what were the needs of large agri-food companies. So we developed these machines for solving their needs. So the need is there are new ways now of producing proteins that are more sustainable. I'm talking about algae, fermentation, or even culture cells. So what we do, we take those ingredients and combine with our proprietary ingredients to produce the food of the future, more sustainable, with better nutrition, and without animals involved. So how we do that? We do that with because we are mostly engineers. We take that engineering approach. So once we develop that machine, so then what? Who is going to buy them? So here we were lucky to have Eatable on our side, but also ISEC. They both help us to meet investors. I was lucky to represent our company in the SAFIA program that ISEC offered to Spanish startups in the Netherlands. So I could meet not only other startups that are developing these proteins, but also how the environment in the Netherlands, that is one of the main markets in Europe, how the companies involved with research centers in universities, and that is recently what is arising here in Spain. So we can see we are meeting other startups, and we are talking to research centers, and we could see that now it's a good ecosystem rising in Spain, and this presentation is also helping that. So I think it's around my time. So if you have any question, I'm happy. You can contact us at javier@cocus.com. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Javier. Always great hearing and listening to you. Let us now move to the milk sector. As we were talking before, it's another great field for innovation in our country. And we are going to hear Zoltan Tozcifra from Real Deal Milk. Real Deal Milk, it's a Barcelona-based startup which develops milk protein through precision fermentation in order to make dairy products that are produced without animals, but are nutritionally and gastronomically equivalent to traditional dairy products. Well, Zoltan Tozcifra is an entrepreneur with computer science background. He is currently part-time MSc student at the University of Oxford. Well, Zoltan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Maria, for the introduction. So my name is Zoltan. I'm a CEO of Real Deal Milk. And at Real Deal Milk, our mission is centered around a single question. Will there be dairy cows by 2050? We don't think so. See, technology generally evolves in these S-curves of paradigm shifts. So for example, from pen and paper, we went to typewriters, and then from there we went to Microsoft Word, or we went from horses to, internal combustion engine to Tesla. And the same thing is happening to dairy. A little over 100 years ago, pasteurization revolutionized dairy and made it safe and accessible to everyone. And about 100 years later, we have reached peak cow, which is able to convert only 17% of its feed calories into calories in milk. And it doesn't come for free. Cows, dairy cows are causing a lot of problems in terms of climate change, deforestation, water use, obviously animal suffering, etc. But there is already a paradigm shift that is on the way, and it's coming to revolutionize it. And it's called cellular agriculture. So it turns out you don't need animals, to produce these products at all. You don't need cows to make milk, right? And perhaps you don't need cows to make meat either. So we think that this century is going to be about cellular agriculture, tissue engineering, lab-grown meat, and precision fermentation dairy, and is going to enable incredible innovation while solving all the problems associated with traditional production method in terms of climate change, animal suffering, etc. And is going to beat plant-based alternatives as well in terms of the experience and the environmental impact, while preserving our rich food culture, because it's down to the molecular levels the same thing as the traditional one. Obviously, this is a huge market, no matter how you slice it, dairy. Both in Europe, in the US, and in Spain itself, it's a 10 billion euro market. So it's an enormous opportunity here. We are very excited about this technology because it promises to move away from animal agriculture while preserving the foods that we love, and it brings about sustainable food production, reducing its environmental impact, animal suffering, and also food import dependence. Right? Our research is focuses on cheese right now. That over time we want to replace all dairy categories with dairy made through precision fermentation. We're also building a B2C brand in the process, and we're focusing on Europe, and within that we're focusing on Spain right now. We think that Spain is an amazing place today to start an alternative dairy or food innovation company in general. I think a testament to that is all the very impressive companies coming out of Spain, such as Eura or Cubic Foods. And we are very happy to be here as well. Both, the public and the private sector is showing enormous support to companies like us. For example, last year, we got into an incubator program called Milkabator, run by Pascual, which is a large Spanish dairy company and Eatable Venture. And they gave us enormous support to define our mission, to work on our financials, to work on our pitch and our route to market. So that's just a small example of how supportive this environment is, both from the public and the private side. Spain recognized that these technologies are going to be the way we produce food in the coming centuries, and it's right to invest there. So we're happy to be in Spain and work on this enormous task.
Great listening to you, Zoltan. We are now going to listen to Mariano Otto from Newcaps. Newcaps is again a Navarra-based startup that offers new encapsulation technology from the industrial development of nanocapsules and biocapsules for bioactives and probiotics. And Mariano Otto is the CEO and co-founder of Newcaps. He holds a BBA degree in economics and business science. He's an expert in commercial management and business communication with over 20 years experience in business and project managers. Well, Mariano, we are eager to listen to you.
Hello, many thanks, Maria, for your kind introduction. And also many thanks to ITEX for that opportunity and letting me present our company and our opinion about alternative protein. Well, my name is Mariano Otto. I'm the CEO of Mocaps Nanotechnology. We are a B2B biotech company, and we develop and produce health inside functional ingredients using alternative proteins and vegetable proteins as encapsulant of bioactive ingredients and probiotics. We design and make microencapsulated ingredients and give alternative protein a new value as a protector of and as a control release of bioactive ingredients and also probiotic bacteria. We are very lucky to be part of this ecosystem, Spanish ecosystem about alternative protein, because we have found a really good partners and really a very alive food tech sector. We are sure that this biotech industry will be in short of high value and importance for Spain. Food tech and biotech industry are giving us a competitive position that we didn't have in the past, and could be a clean industry, sustainable industry, and improve the diet's quality and then people's health. In ICES, it's helping us a lot in letting people know about our technology. And thanks to these opportunities, we are working now in 11 countries in Europe and South America. And we are sure that with the help of this ecosystem, we will succeed and be able to give food industry this technology, alternative technology, to improve diet nutrition and then our health.
Mariano, thank you very, very much. Finally, not least, we are going to listen to my great friend, Estefania Erro from CNCA. Well, we were seeing before how important is the role of technological centers in the development of our food tech industry. There are paramount players, and well, this is the case with CNCA. Estefania is currently Marketing and Innovation Director of CNCA National Center for Food and Technology, and also Safety and Board member of Newcaps, the company we were mentioning before. She's passionate about the future. You will see it when you listen to her, and the solutions to be created in the food industry, and how to make change happen, and also growth. She's focused in food and technology since 2016, when she joined CNCA. Well, Estefania, we are really eager to listen to you and to see what are the solutions and the role you think you can play in the development of alternative protein right now in Spain.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for the invitation to CNCA to this interesting webinar. I am Estefania Erro, Marketing and Innovation Director from CNCA National Center for Food Technology and Safety. What do? We are a research institute. We apply science, we develop technology, and we try to eliminate the hurdles of the innovation. To make an example, is like if you're running the 100 meters sprint, it is much easier and quicker if you take all the hurdles off. And that's what we are trying. For example, if we are talking about alternative proteins, at the moment there are a lot of challenges ahead. For example, clean label or shortening the list of ingredients, exploring new ingredients, making the final products more available and reducing the price, making them more nutritious, improving the sensory. So we've got a lot of challenges ahead, and that's our purpose, eliminating all those hurdles. At the moment at CNCA, we are working with a lot of ingredients, and we are working with insects, algae, single-cell proteins, plant-based, of course, mycelium, almost all the alternative proteins that we can see in the market at the moment. And in the technology side, we work with fermentation, very famous at the moment, precision fermentation, biomass fermentation, but we also work with 3D printing or bioprinting. We do work with extrusion, and of course, and that's not so well known, but formulation, intelligent formulation, this is key, because at the end of the day, we're developing a lot of new ingredients, but we have to make them work when we put them all together. And with all this knowledge, we work with startups and corporates to develop final food products or hybrid products. That's for me a very interesting idea for the future. I don't know if everything that we will find in the market will be 100% alternative protein. I expect to find a lot of products that will be hybrid. By hybrid, I mean that we will have probably meat and plant in the same product. We may have meat and insects, why not? And those are interesting ways for approaching the price reduction challenge that we all have ahead, for example. So to give you some examples of having a taste, what kind of things are we working on? For example, that's clear we're working in meat whole cuts and working on that plant-based formulations with bioprinting. We are doing a very Spanish product like chorizo, plant-based chorizo. We're doing hamburgers, mycelium-based hamburgers. We are exploring a lot the fish, especially tuna area, and the cheese, because as we all know, fish and cheese are still in the progressing stadium, let's say. And another interesting area for me is that alternative protein companies do also need other kind of ingredients. For example, we've been working with a startup in the ice cream market, sorry for that. And they needed, their value proposition is based in being plant-based, but also clean label. So we work with them to develop a chocolate, clean label chocolate that can work with the plant-based ice cream. So alternative proteins do need basic alternative proteins products, but also another kind of products that will make them work together. On the other side, we have to work in the ingredients, insect flour, algae extracts. All those things will make us create better products in the future. And fermentation is one of the best technologies for this. And in that side, we are working a lot. We've got our own yeast bacteria to make better processes and to improve the final products. So having all that in mind, as you can see, there is a lot of things going on, and we're not alone in this ecosystem in Spain. Unfortunately, there are a lot of startups, very promising ones. There are a lot of corporates that every day are making more and more projects. There are research institutes, academia, so we've got the full ecosystem. And I would say the future looks very bright in Spain to develop this market, because if we take the plant-based milk, we are the leading in Europe. We're leading consumers. So the market is ready for alternative products. And we've got the experience. Many big companies, small, medium companies, 30,000 companies in Spain who know how to make food products, how to deliver, how to put them in the market. So I think the future is with us and the future looks bright.
Well, thank you very much, Stefania. We knew you were not going to deceive us. It's always great listening to you, and it's always great to know also the very paramount role technological centers like CNCA play in the development of the food tech industry in Spain, and especially of alternative proteins. Well, also in ethics, we are here to help develop startups, scale-ups, innovation centers to go global, and also to develop alliances with other ecosystems, not only in Spain, but of course the Dutch ecosystem, the Israeli, the Singapore, the United States, everywhere where there's a business opportunity that can be really enhanced. We will be there to support Spanish companies to go global, and also to attract investment to Spain, which is also very important for us. We've seen here already experiences like the experience from Argentina, from Francisco. He came to Spain, and he's really now helping to develop and to enhance our ecosystem. Well, all the information regarding the Spanish food tech ecosystem, you can have it and find it in our website. Spain Foods and Wines from Spain, and you can see there the two reports we've developed in the last years, where you can see really how the food tech ecosystem has evolved in the last year. The last one, fully Spain food tech ecosystem, is really great, and it has been written by our colleagues from Itabol Adventures, and well, you can really get all the information and all the main players in our ecosystem just in this report. So go ahead and take a look. I'm sure you'll find the Spain Food Tech Nation a really great place to invest in and to find great partners as well. So just have a great day. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us, and that's all from ITEX. Bye.